Yo, peace, Lee, and we're back in the building as promised, coming through live with y'all once again. Hey, for the people live watching this live, definitely peace and blessings to you. Give me a 9 in the chat box. Let me know that you can hear me and see me well. Give me some nines in the chat box. For everybody watching the playback, one love and peace and all that good stuff to you. Want to get right into. I want to make sure, even if you come and you see the videos 30 minutes or so, I want to do it in typical Ali fashion where I come through and give you information straight to the point. So just want to get right into it. In the meantime, in between time, before I do that, just know that this video is sponsored by L9shop.com. That's EL, the number 9shop.com. That's our metaphysical superstore that I have with my Wiz, the partner, Son Sarah. That's where you can get some exclusive items, talismans, protection, magical items, and all that good stuff. Also, hard to find items like ancestor money, some crystals, and stuff like that. We are liquidating some of the more common things that you can find on Amazon and stuff. So we created a menu item called Closeout. So make sure to go there if you want to cop some stuff for the low. Also, if you want to work with me, join a community of like-minded souls. I've been running a program that's more like a community for over 3 years now, called the Spiritual Accelerator. If you vibe with my energy, you rock with my energy, you feel alone, you want to be with some people that are also in their spiritual path. I don't know of any better spot than the community that I created. Let's go to spiritualaccelerator.com. Make sure to read all the information. And if it resonates with you, you can join today. I do have an announcement. I'm going to get into the video topic today, but I do have an announcement, an update on the retreat, the Soulglow Spiritual Retreat. So if you're interested in that, make sure to stick around to the end. So I do got some confirmations. Let me know that we are good. Appreciate everybody for coming through. And like I said, to make this playback very, very beneficial for everyone, I just want to get right into it. We're 2 minutes in, so let me make it happen. So we're talking about, or I'm speaking about today, the biggest spiritual trapdoors, the biggest spiritual trapdoors. And for real, to keep it all the way funky with y'all, there's mad trapdoors. There's mad things that you can feel like you're on your path, and before you know it, you're trapped somewhere and don't even realize it. So I want to loosely define what a trapdoor is as far as it relates to spirituality. A trapdoor is just as it sounds. You're walking along your path and then you fall into something, and before you know it, you're trapped. Think Get Out, think quicksand, think booby traps. You're walking alone thinking everything's Gucci, you're on your spiritual path, and all of a sudden you fall down and you don't even realize you fell down. That's what a trapdoor is. Before you know it, you're in it and you don't even realize that you're fall victim to something that you didn't even intend to fall victim to. You think you're on the path, getting it in, getting that light, getting that information, optimizing your soul, and before you know it, all hell's broke loose. So that's what a trap door is, a spiritual trap door. Hold on real quick. I see Jazz in the building. She used a different name, so I would make her a moderator. All right, so what are the biggest spiritual trapdoors? And like I said, there's mad trapdoors, but there's 4 that I see that are very huge that a lot of people fall victim to. The first one being feeding the ego. Feeding the ego. Remember, you're on a spiritual journey. You're on the spiritual path, the metaphysical journey, the journey to evolve your soul. So if you're feeding the ego is your false self. The ego is a part that makes you feel special, that makes you feel different than everybody. And the reason why you know this is that people put themselves on a pedestal. They'll start using words like, they're not on my level. That's the main thing you hear people when you know that the spirituality is fed their ego. They'll say things like, they're not on my level. Oh, I used to rock it with them, but they ain't on my level. I'm above them. Stuff like that lets you know that the spirituality is feeding the ego. True spiritual path makes you more connected with humanity. A true spiritual path makes you more connected with other animals in the universe. It lets you know that you're a part of something greater, that you're not above anyone, that you're together. You feel what I'm saying? So if your spiritual path is making you feel better than everybody, or you're just worrying about the way you look in a certain way, feeding the ego. Your body is an ego. So if you feel like you need to wear certain clothing, certain hats, if you need to greet people a certain way, like Hotep and peace and blessings and all these different catchphrases, I'm not saying that that makes you a quote unquote bad person or not spiritual. What I'm saying is that you're allowing this spirituality to become more of a physical thing, where it's just making you feel better and different than everybody, and it's feeding, making you feel special. That's the best way I can say it. Everyone is special, which makes you not special. Everyone is special, which makes you not special. If everyone can evolve, if everyone has a chance to grow, then what makes you better than the next person? Even if you've been on your path longer than the next person, what makes you better than them? You feel what I'm saying? There's certain cats that go into the league, go into the NBA, go into the NFL, and they get a starting position where other cats been in that joint for like 5 years and they don't get a starting position. So somebody can come into spirituality and lap you if you look at it that way. No matter how evolved you think you are, no matter how much light you think you have, you're bright until someone else comes in that's brighter than you. If you got guap, if you got money, you're rich until someone is richer than you. If you think you're sexy, you got a certain look about you or whatever, you're sexy until someone sexier come into you. That's until someone else comes in. So my point is, don't allow the spirituality to feed your ego, making you feel special, then make you feel more special, like you're better than other people. And you can do as you wish, but if you allow the spirituality just to make you a better, like make your ego feel better, your self-esteem is another way of putting it, then that light is not being generated to the soul. You're funneling light straight to your ego. So the first spiritual trapdoor, once again, something you don't intend on participating in, but you fall victim to it, is feeding the ego. You get this information. Information is powerful. So it can feed your ego, making you feel special to the next person. All right. Another thing that I see as a spiritual trapdoor, and for real, I fell victim to 2 out of the 4. To keep all the way tall with you, I fell victim to 2 out of the 4. 2 of them I really never tapped into, but I see it with a lot of other people. But the second one is turning spirituality into a religion, turning a spiritual path into a religion. And the way you know that you're doing this or other people are doing it is when they say that this is the only way they're doing things. They're doing something and they're telling you this is the only way of doing it. If you look at Christianity, and I'm just going to pick on Christians, they'll say Jesus is the light and the way, meaning there is no other way towards the light. And if you talk to Christians, or if you were a Christian, you'll know people say the word of God is in the Bible. This is the only way to get to heaven. That's a religious mindset. So if you're in a position where you're saying this is the only crystal to unlock your chakras, this is the only way to eat. My brother, we shouldn't be eating meat. You feel what I'm saying? We need to get rid of dairy products. You see what I'm saying? You need to meditate this many times. When you do your altar work, it needs to be done this way. That's a religious mindset. A spiritual path allows you to know that there's many ways of doing anything. There's many ways of connecting with the creator. There's many ways to gain light. So if you're in a position where you're listening to someone, following someone, or more importantly, you're telling other people this is the only way of doing it, and you're a strong believer in your way, and you're stuck on it. You ain't trying to hear nothing else, which is fine for you, but don't oppose your views on everyone else. Don't push your agenda on someone else. That's the same thing that we do, that we say about Christians. A minister, a preacher, we always think they have an agenda. So if you're talking to people in your family, you're talking to your friends, and you're always trying to convert them into your way of doing things, what makes you different than a Christian? What makes you different than the same people that you throw stones at? So the second trapdoor that I see on the path is turning spirituality into a religion. Remember, there are many paths to the creator. There are many paths to enlightenment, and there's many ways to gain light. All right. Okay, the third trapdoor, and this is in no particular order, is serving too many masters. You're serving too many masters, or you know someone who is serving too many masters. And the analogy I want to use with this is if you're in high school or you went to high school, obviously, or if you're in college or went to college, you know that you have a teacher for every subject. You have one English teacher per year. You have one science teacher. You have one math teacher, one history teacher. You have one teacher per subject. So if you're serving too many masters, meaning that you're listening to too many people as it relates to one thing. And I'm going to use something that I'm familiar with because, truth be told, I birthed knowledge of the altar work that wasn't previously on YouTube prior to my coming on here. I'm not saying that egotistically. I'm saying as a documented fact. If you go back into YouTube, there weren't too many people talking about altar work, especially looking like me, talking about altar work, burning ancestor money and stuff like that. It wasn't stressed in our community like that until, I came on the scene and a couple other people came on the scene. But looking at altar work, if you're listening to 5 different people talk about the altar, you're going to get conflicting information. You're listening and serving too many masters. You're allowing too many people to input your way of life. And the reason why this becomes troublesome is one person is going to say one thing. I'm going to say something. Then the next person is going to say something totally different. Then at the end of the day, you're like, I don't even know what to do. And you become what's called analysis and paralysis, where you're taking all this information, it's conflicting information. Therefore, you're confused and you end up never putting up an altar. There's probably someone in this chat, someone watching a live, someone watching a playback that you've been thinking about doing an altar, but you haven't done it. Why? Because you probably don't feel convicted enough that you have the right information in order to make it pop. So serving too many masters does not do you any benefit once you get the information that will be that you know for sure how to do things. And the way this looks like is at first you want to research, read all the books, listen to people. But once you find someone that resonates with you in any particular subject matter, then if I were you, I would use their information, apply it, and see how it benefits you. If it doesn't serve you well, then you may want to scratch it and go look up someone else's information. But the point is not having many people tell you about one thing. Very important. Ultimately, you don't want to listen to any humans. Y'all know my stance. Human lies, people lie, women lie, numbers lie. Your spirit does not lie to you. So once you tap into your spirit, once you get on your path and you really feel that energy, you know what to listen to. And it's your higher voice, your higher self, your inner guru. They have many different names, but the intuition is what's going to best serve you. So serving too many masters does not benefit you when it relates to one subject matter. You want to do your best to kind of take all their information and then funnel it and find one person that resonates with you. Use their information, apply it to your life, and see how you grow from that. So the third thing is serving too many masters does not benefit you in the long run. All right. The last thing, and this is something I've been harping on for years now, is not applying information. Not applying information. Most of y'all are just dealing with outformation, external stimuli. Just, oh, this brother said something deep that resonates with me. Preach, my brother. Hey, sister. Oh, yeah, that resonates with me. That's all y'all say, that resonates with me. That's the confirmation. You're allowing too much information and you're not applying it. You're just hearing things and studying things and reading about things. You got all the books on every subject matter. What people are doing is turning spirituality into jeopardy, into trivial pursuit, where you just know everything. Do you keep it all the way tall, yo? Do you know someone right now who knows everything? Like they know everything about astrology, everything about the tarot, everything about this subject and that subject, but you don't see them gaining light. Like keep it real. The information alone would never set you free. They say knowledge is power. I disagree. Applied knowledge where you gain wisdom and experience, that is power. But just information is everywhere. Like I tell y'all, you can go to Wikipedia and get caught up on game on any subject matter. Does that make you any powerful? Just studying about the deities, is that making you a god? Just studying about crystals, is that make you know how to work with crystals? You feel what I'm saying? We can go, it doesn't matter what subject matter. Yes, you want to start with the information, then apply it. But if you're stuck on a level of just feeding your ego with information, because that's another way of feeding the ego, which is information. Now you feel smarter than the next person. You're smarter than a fifth grader. You're smarter than a third dimensional dwelling being. You feel what I'm saying? It just makes you feel special and more smart. Once you apply the information and you see how, once it resonates in your soul, you take that information or outformation and you really internalize it. That is what true information is when you take something external like that I'm sharing with you, you meditate on it, and then you see how your soul resonates with it. That's how you use information to feed your light. Then you apply such information, and that's how you have experiences, and that's how you evolve yourself. So the fourth and final trapdoor is not applying information. So if you're coming through and watching this light on the live, make sure to go back. Once again, the four spiritual trapdoors are feeding the ego, turning spirituality into a religion, serving too many masters, and not applying information. So now that you know what the trapdoors are, more than likely you may have fallen victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it real with me though. And the people in the chat, shout out for everybody that's watching this live. How many of you are falling victim to some of these trapdoors? It may not even realize that it was a trapdoor, but you know you're in a trapdoor, or you know you fell victim to something when you feel like you're not growing. If you feel like you're just running in place, you're on a treadmill, or if you feel like you're drowning, like you're in quicksand, that's how you know you fell into a trapdoor. So I'm willing that this information resonates with you. Hopefully I got straight to the point. We've been on here about 17 minutes, but I'm pretty sure we got straight to the point. So I'm gonna see if there's any questions as it pertains to what I spoke about. And if we get any super chats, I'll also answer that. Appreciate you, winner. Gratitude, brother. Appreciate that. Did you have a question with the super chat? You give a super chat, you know what I mean? You should have a question or something like that. So give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah, Jill. All right, back in the building. All right, for those that stuck around for the announcement, definitely the Soulglow Spiritual Retreat is up and it's popping, yo. It's something I've asked y'all if you were interested. The spirit let me know that it's time to do it. So we are definitely it's going down next March or April. The truth be told, I told the past guests and my accelerator members first. So yesterday we had damn near half of it sold. I'm just keeping it tall with y'all. It's damn near halfway full, and I just announced it to one set of people. So if you're interested, make sure to go to soulglowretreat.com. I'll put that in the chat. Soulglowretreat.com. Make sure to secure your spot if it's something that you've been waiting for me to do it. Like I said, it's going to sell out. It sells out every year. So there's not no ploy to try to get you to do it quick. I'm just telling people who are interested, make sure to cop your joint. Because once the rooms are sold out, I'm not going to have 2 cabins. So make sure to go cop that if that's what you've been waiting on. Soulglowretreat.com. Shout out to everybody that's already signed up, and I will see you early next year. It's going to be legendary, life-changing. All right. So do I have any questions that pertains to the subject matter? What up, Saran? I just went through it. You may have to listen back. I don't know if I spoke too quick, but feeding the ego is your false self. This is your physical being. My name is Ali. I'm a melanated man in my 40s. That's my ego. That's my physical self. The ego relates to your physical self. On a cult level, we know that our physical self is not our true self. It's our personality. personality derives from the word persona, which means mask. That's why when you look at Halloween, people have masks on. It's not their true self. The ego is not your true self. So when you're allowing spirituality to make you feel better than the next person, to just dress up your physical being like this, like me wearing a shirt, that's egoic. Me putting a hat on, that's egoic. Anything dealing with the body, a fly, I'm swatting at flies, don't want to get stung by a bee. All of that deals with my ego. So if your spirituality is making you feel better than the next person, you're just dressing up your physical self, you just feel like you're smarter than the next person, that is your ego. And a true spiritual path, in my opinion, shouldn't just place your ego on a pedestal. All right. Okay. I do not see any questions pertaining to the subject matter, and I don't see any other super chats. All right. So once again, spiritualaccelerator.com. That's where you need to go if you want to work with me. Um, Main benefits is I'm not everywhere, yo. I don't because I protect my energy, it's very important that I protect my energy. Therefore, I do not answer YouTube questions all day. I don't go on Instagram and Facebook and just answer questions. That's not, I don't want to say most questions are dumb, but most questions are things that are commonsensical or things you can just Google real quick or whatever. A lot of times people just want to see if you respond to them, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to make nobody feel bad or anything, but it's like you just need somebody to listen to, need somebody to talk to or something like that. So like 90% of questions I get as far as publicly, they don't have anything to do with anything. So in order to protect my energy, I focus on my accelerator members. That's the only spot where I answer every question, because those who join that program usually are about that spiritual work. You don't invest in your spirituality as far as joining somewhere and putting up your own bread if you're not serious about your work. Unfortunately, when you do live events and live things and free things or free things, free events, like people take advantage of that. So that's a long-winded way of saying that most of my energy is focused on my accelerator members. Made it very affordable so anyone can join. Spiritualaccelerator.com. If it resonates with you, make sure to join. And as always, l9shop.com. That's where you can cop some spiritual supplies. And shout out to Saran. I will see you in Tennessee. She just signed up. So we have one less room taken. So make sure to go to soulglowretreat.com if you want to join me. If you rock with my energy, I promise you, I attract some of the coolest, down-to-earth people that are about their spiritual light. So if that's what resonates with you, make sure to come through. What about celebrities being claiming to be spiritual? There's a lot of celebrities claiming to be spiritual. We're in a quote-unquote awakening. So I don't see the question there. If you want to go back to the video where I talked about metaphysics becoming mainstream, that's why a lot more celebrities are talking about spirituality. All right. So that's it. I don't see anything else popping off. So until next time, y'all, peace.